Hello and welcome back to the Opia Week now in day 2, still Spawn and A-Gem, and I think that was probably the most commanding victory that we have seen the weekend. Maybe Direwolf's game 2 was also
game 2 was AV, but I mean...
Were they behind from level 1? Because really, Order were from behind from level 1.
That's true. That was also like currently sitting like top 3 and then like 5th place, whereas this is like battle of like within top 3, so less of a mismatch there. And Chiefs looking real good, honestly.
Yeah, and now nothing on the line for Order. They are locked into the 3rd seed. Everything on the line for Chiefs. If they win this, they take top spot. So really, ball is in the Chiefs' court.
100%. As we are getting into draft, I feel like the Zyra Khan thing. So Order, they give that one over to Chiefs. It's their best bottom lane. They perform the best on it, and then they got punished by it in that game there. I feel like either they're going to take it for themselves on the side of Order, or they're not going to give it to Chiefs. I feel like that was a game 1 play that if you just dumpster Zyra Khan and you prove to Chiefs that it's beatable, then like that's really good going forward. So it's almost like we were talking about best of 5 on the couch, right? That's a best of 5 strategy. And now, it's actually going to be banned away by the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't necessarily agree, because I think that the big issue there was the Syndra pick. I think that Syndra really swung the 2v2, and you saw that Spooks spent so much time around that mid lane. And if that level 6 gank where Swiffer burnt both summoner spells underneath the turret but still died, didn't come through, and, you know, they get the kill onto Syndra, and Ryze is able to dominate Sion in that side lane, then that's a completely different game. But the Syndra, for me, was certainly higher priority in that draft.
We see that one is banned away by Order, so they're respecting the mid pick out of Roma.
And it's just something that teams haven't played for a long time. I think we've seen 2 games of it now.
Very few players actually play that one, so especially even in solo queue, that's where you get your reps in as a pro player. You don't play against Syndra all that much.
And when so much of it is this combo going to kill me or not kill me, yes or no, in 0.1 of a second, then if you haven't played against it like 100 times, and you're not going to have that information, and therefore you are going to lose in scenarios you think you otherwise should win. An immediate first pick, Caitlyn.
Yeah. They want the lane priority back. Game 1, they had absolutely none from the start of the game. So picking up the Caitlyn, long range, lane bully. They want to be ahead. They want to put the ball in their court. They want to have that advantage. So they take that one away very early. But Swiper gets his 1 trick.
Nah.
He might not be a 1 trick anymore, but I'm still going to claim it.
I'm actually so surprised that he went nah and not Camille here.
Yeah.
I think that Swiper has looked significantly better on the Camille.
That game against Sleeping.
He looked amazing. Dodging out of ultis with his ult, executing Tiger time after time. Really was a terrific performance, but will not be there. Articuno will be the lock-in. No, that's Anivia. Different game.
Close enough. Close enough. Interesting. Do they take their support jungle, or do they opt in for something like the Camille topside to give to Tally? Because that has kind of emerged as an answer to Nah.
Swiper kind of shakes his eyebrows a little bit. Gives people a wry smile.
Yeah. And we've seen Articuno. We've seen Anivia a few times internationally. But not really O's. So Swiffer going to be able to pull that one out. And Spooks wants his hands on the Olaf this time. But Bib had a pretty good game on it last game. Applied pressure all over the place, and Spooks takes it away.
I mean, Hover of the Shyvana makes a lot of sense versus Olaf, at least in my head. Would go even in tempo. Has great backline dive, which is kind of what you want against an Anivia. If Shyvana, as well as Nah, can go over that wall, definitely would be able to kill her. But they go with Ezreal. A mobile 80 carry into Anivia is always important.
It is. But right now, looking at their composition, they have a Nah, they have a Ryze, Ezreal. They don't have a lot of range to their name. They're still yet to pick their jungle and support, but that's what Anivia wants. They pick the Anivia, they pick the Caitlyn. Anivia's one of those spatial mid laners. She wants to keep space with the wall. Once you start putting points in that one, you just kind of control the team fights, and then you have a long-range AD carry like the Caitlyn to back you up there.
She's honestly a calming champion in League of Legends. That's why I like her.
She just tones everyone down a bit.
Because either the team rushes onto her and kills her immediately, in which case, like, all right, that's pretty exciting. Or she kind of flaps around majestically, just building walls, constructing ice ponds.
Playing the wrong game. It's not League of Legends.
And it's the same bans coming out of the Chiefs this time around. It is going to be the game plank and the Thresh. And hell, if you win game number 1 in 30 minutes, why not go back to a similar thing?
Yeah, 100%. They don't need to change up much. The Nidalee ban does come through as the answer to Olaf. We've seen that one already.
Peanut plays it a lot into Olaf and does it well.
Very well.
They leave up Skarner because, hey, Olaf is the answer into Skarner.
So farms quicker, and then you just ulti his ult.
At the same time, flash Skarner ulti onto Anivia sounds pretty damn good.
It does.
So, see how that goes.
Oh, okay, here we go. Is this the first Lee Sin in the OPL? I think it is. We've seen it all over the place, but not in the OPL. And this is a jungler. You talked about Skarner that can get onto Anivia. because that's what you need. The Lee Sin going to be holding onto his trinket probably because of the 8.4 changes,
well,
but he needs to be able to kick him back.
Anyway. All junglers hold onto their trinket.
I feel like once you get to like 25, 30,
okay,
like they start selling it for sweeper, but Lee needs to have that wall jump, needs to be able to get behind the Anivia. And that's what we really need to watch from Babip this game. It's not even about the early pressure really from Lee Sin. It's all about getting onto Swiffer mid game.
See whether they're able to do it. They're potentially looking at a Braum as well. If Babip is ever able to get onto Swiffer, kick him back into the team, you feel like it is a one team fight for the Chiefs because they have so much damage there. However, if he's not able to get access, you already have things like the Braum ultimate, like potentially the Ram that can come through and interrupt the jump. Then going to be a difficult game for the Chiefs to win. And
that's what I'm thinking about, interrupting the jump, right? I'm actually surprised they go for the Braum and not something like the Alistar, which is just picked away immediately by Destiny. The Ornn ulti can come through, but it's a significant delay. The Braum ulti is also pretty slow, but when you have the Alistar, you can just pulverize Lee out of thin air, but they don't opt for that one. They want the defensive capabilities with the Braum. Game number 2 for Rogue.
And I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that Ezreal Braum matches up very well against Caitlyn Alistar. So they take the Caitlyn Braum, not necessarily a better lane, but a better 2v2 now secured for FBI and Rogue. And I think that we saw that the Chiefs won the 2v2 in game number 1, and FBI and Rogue, they are Lane Kingdom players, would like to have some sweet revenge.
They want their turn, 100% here, coming into game 2, looking to equalize. This is going to be interesting. Swiffer kind of rubbing his head. But someone we didn't really talk about too much that game, Spooks versus Babip. Of course, Babip filling the hole that Spooks left on the Chiefs lineup, and had a pretty good performance game 1.
Yeah, doing it very well, to be honest. A player that we said was having some stage nerves, I feel like at week 9 of the season has certainly navigated those very well, and is starting to show the prowess of the young mechanical jungler he can be.
And that's the thing, right? He's playing his style as well. It's not like he's just being shoved on. He's a rookie on the team, gets shoved on Sejuani, he's Zac every single game. No, he's playing the Nidalee. He's the first player in the OPL to bring out the Lee Sin. He's kind of overcome those nerves and then gone to the next step where he's bringing out his own swag.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lee Sin's one of the few champions in the game that has enough damage to kill Olaf.
Yeah.
Olaf, if he's on like 100 health, is actually scarier than he was when you first met him. However, Lee Sin will just 100 to 0 you if you ever face check. So as we get on to Summoner's Rift, for game number 2, it's going to be Order taking on the Chiefs Esports Club. This one is for first place for the Chiefs. The boys in blue wanting to regain the glory that they left behind in 2017. And to hear about Order's composition, just for something different, let's throw it over to Laura and choose.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with Choo Choos. Now, you've spent the past few weeks down in Melbourne with the team instead of coaching from interstate. How was it for you, and how has it helped with your preparation?
It's definitely a lot easier. Just being able to watch like their perspective from behind them and to talk to them is just easier to improve. And we had a very productive week, so hopefully we can prove that in these next 2 games.
Well, you did just come out of a loss. What techniques do you and the team use to mentally reset before going into the next game?
Well, with that loss, we're locked into 3rd seed, so that is a bit of a pity. But at the moment, we can play a lot better than how we performed in the first game. Chiefs are playing very well today, but we're going to just use the rest of this set to really just prove to ourselves heading into Gauntlet.
And taking a look at this draft, the Chiefs have bought out Lee Sin. What do you think of him as a pick at the moment, especially with all the recent jungle changes?
He's a bit kind of jungler, you know. He wants to make things happen early. Similar as the Olaf, he's going to look to make a lot of create a lot of pressure on the map. So we really just need to try and neutralize and slow the game down, and not really give them any opportunity to let this pick shine.
Well, best of luck with this game and the series, and thanks for talking to us.
So we see a little bit of early game pressure going to be placed onto Order, just for something different out of the Chiefs. I agree, it is such a Babip champion. When Babip was first kind of rocking solo queue, literally all he played was Nidalee and Lee Sin. And this is a very nice invade coming out of the young jungler. Immediately over the wall, takes away the red buff.
Predicts the start out of Spooks. We saw him doing the blue and Gromp pull at the same time. Does mean a very quick full clear, but Babip kind of spots that one out. They do their preparation coming into this game, and we'll be able to spot him on a ward as well. So he's going to be confirmed in his path in there. Going to take away the red buff and probably get the 3 buff.
Yeah, absolutely, and no real response can come out of here from Spooks. I think the correct response from Olaf is to now just farm as quickly as possible, maybe look to take away a Scuttle Crab, maybe have some free times to dip into a lane and look for a cheeky gank, but really you don't want to be running into Lee Sin's jungle. No one really does.
Yeah.
Maybe Elise back in the day was the only champion that could do it well because of the Spiderlings. But right now they're controlling Spooks well, and that is definitely credit to the young mid lane duo of the Chiefs Esports
Yeah,
Club.
100%. You saw Rise just dip into bottom lane, place that ward on the ramp, so they're trying to contain Spooks in his jungle. You know he's full clear top side. You know he's going to end up on the bottom side of the map, and he's not going to have much to do because he cleared away that red buff. So they're going to have to play this one defensively in the bottom lane because Spooks is kind of pestering around.
Yeah, absolutely. And Spooks kind of thought that Babip might have gone back towards his topside jungle, so he doesn't go for any form of punish. Instead, just takes away a Scuttle Crab and is looking to continue pressuring out the jungler of the order lineup just through tempo and through good, clean macro play. Something that I'm very happy to see starting to creep into Babip's game.
It's pretty interesting. We haven't really touched on the priority from Ornn for the most part, because we haven't seen him too much. We see the Sion, as soon as Sion came into Resurgence, he kind of touted himself as the best tank in the top lane, but we've seen Tally now game number 2 on this pick. Into the Gnar will just be kind of bullied around early a little bit. He's gone for the Grasp, not the Spellbook Ignite combo this time, so has a little bit of less lane priority. Just wants to be as beefy as possible once he gets to those mid and late game team fights. And pretty interesting to see Order play so much priority on that pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just good long-range, non-committal engage. When you're playing picks like Anivia and Rise, you want to see whether your CC is land before everyone runs into the team.
And that's the thing, if you have a Sion, he has to zoom in.
Yeah.
He's going in and
That's
Swift,
committal engage.
Swift is just like, hey man, like I'm sitting back here. I'm not going in with you.
Yeah, I'm not running that quickly. As we're going to see Babip actually bump into Spooks in the top lane. Spooks will also run over a wall.
Predator
Will start
popped.
zooming. Predator is popped, and you can see actually turns around, does a lot of damage. In goes Tally, but misses the combo, and Babip is there first, which means now Tally needs to try and head for the hills. He's not going to be able to make it, and for another time in this best of 3, it will be the Chiefs Esports Club getting first blood in a double kill. Meanwhile, bottom lane, you can see that they're still looking for it. Good engage out of Destiny onto FBI. Burns just a potion, actually. No summoner spells there.
But suddenly we're 5 minutes into the game and Chiefs are winning across the board once again. Swiffer actually went for a recall with that base. Ryoma made it to the play so much, so top side of the map, big outplay by Chiefs. Spooks burns his flash as well, so does Tally, and they get the 2v2 kill.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see, meanwhile, top lane, Swiper sitting 1-0-1 on his skin, on the Gnar.
Yeah.
Would be very happy. The rock in the top.
Leona has made his claim.
Absolutely popping off.
It's the haircut. He's dyed his hair, now he's spiked it into a bit of a mohawk. He's feeling good about the top lane right now. Of course, will have that kill to his name. It went over to the Gnar, so sitting absolutely pretty. He didn't have to burn his TP as well. He does actually channel it now, so he goes back to base, picks himself up a Phage.
Yeah, and the fact that Ryoma was able to get over there as well on the Rise means that he now is 1-0-1 in what is deemed a counterpick for Anivia after level 6 and should be a little bit safer in this laning phase.
He's sitting very far back right now in the lane. Ryoma was sitting almost at his inner turret, playing very respectfully, waiting to push in there. Swiffer getting the push, had burnt the TP. Ryoma kind of just walking back to lane there, has no mana, but has the tier to kind of stack up. So just going to be sitting fine in that matchup. And as you mentioned, this game's sort of tracking already. We're only 6 minutes in, so it's calling it very early, but we're on the same sort of path as game 1. Chiefs have the early advantage, or to have the comp that wants to be able to stall. They have the long range of the Caitlyn, of the Anivia. They want to be able to stall out the pressure that Chiefs can apply.
Yeah, Destiny was hoping that stun proc would wear off. It didn't, so he takes a lot of damage in response, to be honest.
He's still got all 3 pots, so this bot lane hasn't been too volatile, apart from that one engage. FBI sitting on the shield, so he's back at full. Of course, Chief Raze has gone for the blade, more aggressive in the duo.
Yeah, it's just helpful for being able to last hit with Ezreal. This poke damage is going to be a little bit stickier. And there's no real way that Caitlyn as well as Braum are going to be able to get on top of you. You can see right now that Spooks goes for a bit of counter jungling. I think this is a mistake. Anivia is much more blue reliant than what Rise is. And you can see that Babip walks in, sweeps himself. Tally going to go across and check it though.
Yeah, he hit the Scry's Bloom. So Order know exactly what's happening right now, but because Chiefs have priority on the top side, they have it mid, they have it top lane, they're just going to get this one for free. So as you mentioned, Anivia more blue reliant. But he doesn't get his because Spooks opted in for the trade right now. So Ryoma picks that one up. Lee Sin, energy user, doesn't care about the blue. Gives it over to his mid laner.
Actually, see, I disagree. I think that Lee Sin is one of the best blue users in the game.
Okay.
He actually goes really low in energy, not when you're clear, but in little skirmishes, because you need to use the auto attacks to get your energy back. And really, if you have a Q, auto, second form of Q is going to be like a scenario you don't run into all that much.
You have to be melee range.
So
to
you
start it
actually
off.
go or what is out of energy?
I mean,
Ooey. Ooey. A lot more on Lee Sin than you would necessarily suspect. As they actually look for a bit, but missed both Qs there.
He was looking for his blue buff there, but of course the Q misses from Lee Sin, so he knows that one's gone as two members of Order pop out of the bush. Yeah, potentially an engaged bot side, but no.
He wants to run really quick. No mana on Raze. They could just use this to try and get some big damage down on bottom lane turret, but Spook says no. I want to go back and farm up my jungle. As Swiper dives in on top of Ornn.
He's getting low.
Will do a lot of damage. You can see Lee Sin is tracking towards this side of the lane. Will go mini. He's going to try and bait him in here. However, that's going to be Tally picking up a free kill. Does Babip have the damage to kill him now? Uses that blue smite. Will continue to put in the auto. Ward hops forward. Very nicely played by Babip. But meanwhile, mid lane, Ryoma somehow died, and Order have hit back in this game.
Stuff's going on everywhere right there. Swiper, despite having the early kill, despite that outplay earlier, falls down in a straight-up solo kill. Babip answers. That was honestly very close to Tally 1v2ing.
Yep.
If his W came up, he gets that shield. Babip, you can see he's on a sliver of HP now, healing back up since he gets into base. But we'll have to see what goes on mid lane. Spook's looking for a gank. No flash. Coming out of Ryoma this early right now, looking to flash over the wall. Stun lands from Swiffer, just goes down immediately. And he's dead. Very easy gank. Very nice setup from Swiffer with the wall.
And this is the thing. You have to burn the summoner spell every time as a Ryze. Anivia does enough damage right now by herself to kill you. Because you walk everywhere. It's not like you have a little hop or a dash. And the range of your spells means that you're always in wall territory. This is why it's seen as the counter pick. However, if Ryoma gets himself an Abyssal Mask and Merc Treads and is tanky enough, he will have the damage to be able to turn around onto Swiffer and just start machine gunning him. So it is the race against time. Can Anivia get the kill she needs early game, or can Ryoma farm up and navigate it? You can see right now, gave over that kill, is 22 CS behind. I mean, it's so strange to talk about Anivia as a counter pick, but this is one of the matchups where it definitely works.
And this is it. They picked it very early in the draft phase. As soon as they saw the Ryze, they answer with the Anivia. The lane is getting better and better. You have to think for Swiffer. Last lane, the wall.
Oh, actually, that's big damage onto Spooks. Has to burn it immediately. Over the wall goes Babip. One Q look for. However, flash out of Ryoma. Is the wall available? Can he trap him back in? No. And you can see pressure on the Chiefs Esports Club to make things work. But this is why Lee Sin is the counter pick. You saw the damage. If Kick was available,
he was dead.
He's 100% dead.
And
this is an exciting 2v2.
The mid lane 2v2 is so weird, right? Because Ryoma, he misplays that one. The flash over the wall can't quite get onto Swiffer, but Babip just does so much work onto the Olaf. Spooks has to flash away as soon as the Q lands out of the bush. Babip just does so much damage. Unless your Q procs, he has the execute damage on his Q. Spooks just has to run away there.
I love lanes like this. I get really excited about lanes like this. It is old school League of Legends, Bryce.
Anivia is so old.
When do you get to talk about Olaf and Anivia versus Ryze Lee Sin?
Some of the originals. Some of the old schools there.
We see, once again, Swiper teleporting. One of the lanes you do not want to teleport. You also don't really want to be mini-nah if you have low HP.
Which he was before. Tally picked up the solo kill. Swiper actually flashed as well, but he didn't flash to the side enough. He tried to juke the ulti. The Call of the Forge got a little bit.
I think what he was trying to do was say, my jungle is down here. With a shield, I potentially live in that scenario. However, it certainly did not work.
But if you can flash out of the ulti, it's much better than flashing into it,
But then why would Tally chase him? I mean, he
used
a flash on an ulti.
But at that stage, that we're so low HP, Babip, he's Lee Sin. He can ward hop over the wall. He can get behind the turret. He can just execute Tally. Straight up, I think. You can just get behind the turret.
I mean, Tally nearly killed him.
He did.
So, Babip coming in bottom lane. That's going to be a
Ooh, that was close.
Whoa.
You have to think he was going to go.
How did he not go?
On the pink alley.
You have ward hop. You don't have ward hop, actually. Maybe that's why he didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't think he had ward hop. But
the
alley
next
with
level,
flash pole.
Raze has a trinket ward. He's going to be warding for the hop out of Babip. That'd be some next level synergy right there.
This is the next level when you know someone's in the bush, by the way. Because sometimes like supports are looking for it so much that they're just on the edge of it. As soon as someone dodges, I'm like, there's more than one person in that brush. They don't want to give away their location.
But they do.
This time, did you see how early Spooks was at his blue buff? Swiffer was like, if you ever let that happen again.
It'll be a stern talking to after the game. But a little bit of stagnation here, or a little bit.
And you have to say that this suits the Anivia comp, especially after how that 2v2 top lane went for the Chiefs.
That was like explosive. You think like, oh my god, like they have the Ezreal alley bot lane. That's fine. They're getting the good engages down there. Top side, they win out super hard in this Lee Sin matchup as well.
Everyone congregating mid. That's going to be the horn sounded. That's going to be the knock-up. Stun will land. Lee Sin is in here, however, and they're going to focus on Ryoma. However, Destiny is here first. They're all running across the damage of Anivia, and Swiper has to use the hop. Can they land the stun? No, it is just short. 1-for-1 trade. However, that was a 4v3.
But Destiny is still in the mid lane. This turret is so incredibly low. Order have done work to get this one down. Ray's got to be in a 1v2 potentially when Rogue arrives, but can he just solo get the turret? He will.
Yeah, actually, he doesn't go for it.
Nice
Wall comes up. They're looking for this play. Flash pole misses. However, now Rogue is in behind, has the flash to get away if he wants to use it. Looking for a hop. However, he just walks it out.
Doesn't need to. Does not have enough damage from the Ezreal there, so he will be completely fine. Mid play ends up being a 1-for-1, so they trade the jungler for the mid laner. Ryoma was just perma CC'd. He couldn't do any damage there.
Yeah.
Knocked up by On.
And that's Murtred Abyssal Mask. Really, so I think Spooks did the right thing that play. We don't talk about it a lot, but when you have a mixed damage mid lane jungle comp, it actually is in your favor a lot as a jungler, because they're going to itemize most of the time against the mid laner.
Yep.
And then Spooks just gets to run in, waving his batons in a circle.
Waving his arms around.
Olaf is my new gangplank, by the way.
You hate Olaf?
I hate Olaf.
Why?
Because he's real. He farms quick. Early game, which is all my solo queue goes to, he does more damage than anyone on the map. And
he's just popping.
You, as an AD carry, cannot escape him.
Yeah. If you get hit by an axe, then you're probably going down. Rogue might have just been caught out again, but Bip is in the back pocket of Destiny.
Yeah, however, there's not all that much damage coming through this time, as Raze was still in the top lane. That's a Trinity Force finished on Raze. So now, even though he's behind in gold, given the fact that it was actually FBI picking up first turret, he is definitely stronger.
Got himself the IE to match. Level 9s are hit by the AD carries there, but yeah, not going for the Frozen Fist we see more often. Just wants that extra damage. Potentially want to snowball this game out a little bit. We talked about how the Anivia comp wants to get to late
relaxing? Game. It's got a nice sound. I would actually fall asleep to Anivia ult.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe a little turned down. Like it's very loud on the turret.
It's like white noise.
Yeah, it is. I fall asleep to pink
noise.
Okay. Don't you fall asleep to pink noise? Jasper falls asleep to pink noise. I actually got Jasper a new lamp. Do we have time to talk about Jasper's lamp?
Potentially not. Spooks might just be face checking.
Actually, no, now we do.
They're backing away.
They're actually calling Spooks up here as well.
Predator's
he used Predator. Yeah, he was running in. He's zooming.
Yeah, he was. Swift has got priority in the mid lane now. Built himself about a 30 CS lead. Got the maths right this time. And so he has priority, so he can walk up.
Yeah, so this
with Jasper's lamp.
And it has red light.
Actually, there might be something going on bot lane right now. Ryoma's walking down.
Actually, let's headbutt pole
okay,
onto
no lamp,
well. No lamp talk. They just don't want it. Good return damage onto Destiny here. Couple of crits actually came across. That's very nice from Raze. The perfect player just dancing in.
He's just saved the day. There was 3 members, could have been 4 with Swiffer rotating
they go in on Spooks here. He returns some fire. But Raze goes over the wall. Now he has to flash out immediately. Did not expect the roaming Anivia, and neither did I, to be perfectly fair.
Very close to being hooked by that stun there. If he got clipped
ulti now, though, you can see that already the Lee Sin is dancing in around. He
behind.
looks for it. Goes on to actually gets a flash kick. Very nicely played from Babib. Teleport coming in, and FBI has lived for so long. The stun is going to be there. Anivia coming in as well. So much damage onto Babib. They get Raze. They get Babib. They knock up Destiny under the turret, and Ornn can honestly take this for as long as he needs to. Destiny headbutts him up, uses the Ignite. That's a waste of a summoner spell, and they're going to take top lane turret.
And Chiefs do it again. They get the proactive engage, but this time Order turn it around. Swiper doesn't have TP. They're at a disadvantage here. So Tally, he rocks up to the play. Suddenly, it's a 4v5, and they just lose out. That's going to be the turret going over. Order sitting on 2 right now. Chiefs can't even match right now. This bot lane's very low.
It will
potentially,
fall down.
Yeah, Swiper's going to be able to pick it up.
So nicely done from Swiper. If you do stay at home, if there's no way. Actually, uses the ult, runs at him. He's misses the axe. Spooks,
And
you
he
hate to
landed.
see
No!
him. Misses the second
He
one.
stops.
Pauses, doesn't even pick it up and says, all right, guys, I'm sorry about
he
that.
doesn't deserve to pick that one up. Did you see how Raze died top lane? He flashes. We're going to see it again. Let's run through the play. But very nice.
That's
and very nice chain CC. So FBI should just die immediately. One auto attack gets cancelled by Raze, which means he actually falls down. If he landed that auto, he wouldn't die to this. E onto the trap, gets killed by Caitlyn. The damage from trap actually picked him up. And as we saw, Tally, beefiest tank.
Oh, how did that happen?
Just tanks up the tire. Looks like Chief just caught sleeping a little bit, maybe.
I was going to say, even though Ryan got out of the play, that's not a good play. When you're the only wave clear your team has, and the only turret left available is mid lane, you can't take Raptors there. You actually have to take the tempo recall. Because if you're not going to get back there, then they're just going to take your turret.
Which is exactly what happened. They pick up the mid, they pick up the dragon, and looking to take away the blue buff. Swift is
Both
nowhere
blues.
to be found, but yeah, he just picked up his own, so that's going to be 2 going over. But Bip wants to answer with something, soloing out the Rift Herald. Will be despawning fairly soon, but it's just so hard to push onto an Anivia. He's got double buffs as well, got
However,
the red.
they can go under the turret. They use the Rise ulti. Going to have to wall him away. He does. Where's the stun out of Swiffer?
Oh,
Good
flash.
flash is used. The flash is going to have to be used in response. No, actually, he just walks it out. Just majestically flaps his
away.
wigs.
The rest of order are up here. They're stuck between the turret. No Realm Warp.
Uses the ghost. Actually,
that's a
Spooks.
commit.
Both of them are going over the wall.
Axe
This time
lands.
he lands the axe. He uses the ultimate and he goes forward. But Bip is looking for Swiffer at the same time. They're going to let Ryoma walk away. No, they use the Caitlyn ulti. And you can see Swiffer is just shepherding the Lee Sin. Did he get egged?
No.
Can I see if he got egged?
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't die. He did not fall down there, but Bip actually went for the dive, got him incredibly low, but Swiffer, without the flash again, didn't have to use it, able to keep enough distance, so... But Bip was just trying to make something happen. He knew as soon as the commit came over from order, over the wall, the Olaf, the Braum, they get over behind them.
What the heck? I would have thought if you're going to flash, then Braum gets a jump at least. But he made Braum flash as well. He was like, you're going to work for this one, Jake.
Because Olaf's fast, you know, pops the Predator.
Yeah. He was
Has
zooming.
things like that. He was just zooming. Zooming forward, the Braum had to flash and then W to keep up. And Order actually take a lot of that. The Rift Herald was being soloed out by Bip. But then Order, they defend the play. They get 2 kills and they get the Rift Herald as well after taking Dragon, blue buff as well. So kind of this game, Chiefs had their foothold. They had the advantage, but now a 2,000 gold lead picked up by Order. Both Dragons, double Ocean picked up. So they're in a good position. Swiffer sitting 4-0-0. 4-0-1. He's got 1 assist.
Up 32 CS.
Yep. He's getting bigger and bigger, and this is exactly the game plan that Order wanted. They wanted to be in this point of the game. They have the lead going into mid-game. 20 minutes, Baron has spawned. And Chiefs, they've only really got 1 tank in the Alistar.
And before Chiefs fan jumps down my throat, I'm not calling the game. But I will ask you a question if this does win. Is this a one-and-done strat? Can you now just ban Anivia and there is no way to replicate this with any other champion? Or is it not worth a ban?
I mean, if they win this game, I think it is probably worth a ban.
Okay.
Especially because you've shown that you can kind of get an advantage early, but she's just so punishing. Because Anivia in this situation is kind of like old Cassidy. Where you ever mess up against old Cassidy, he gets 1 kill, and it's like, okay, man.
Just starts bouncing.
Yep. Like, we've actually lost the game. He's ahead somehow. He shouldn't be ahead. They're going to get to late game before us, and it's just disgusting, and we can't deal with it. So, especially in a best-of-3 where they're already a game up, if this equalizes, you don't have a lot of time between games. You've only got something like 8 to 12 minutes to discuss strategy.
And it's not like people are running around in solo queue
playing Anivia.
She sucks in solo
There's
queue.
there's like a single one-trick Anivia at Oast Challenger.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. And he plays the Black Phoenix skin.
Ooh.
I'm not sure of the name. He makes it look pretty good, not going to lie, because Anivia is one of those champions where you're either like a not good Anivia or you're a one-trick.
This guy is starting to run away with the game a little bit, potentially putting pressure on the other side of the map. Nice to see.
Swiper.
Big Swips, Swiper, starting to return to some gauntlet form, he likes to call it.
It's not the Maokai, though. Traditionally, you get to Gauntlet, been playing carries all split,
You know
and he
the
just
most
locks in the
underrated
Maokai.
part of Anivia's kit, by the way?
That?
Her Baron damage.
Yeah.
She can sit here. People can't see where I'm pointing. Just outside the Baron pit and leave her ult down. And, oh, actually, that's a wall. They're going to have to burn the ultimate. Going to have to look for a flash. However, so much layering of CC, and he's not getting out of there anytime soon. They will look for the chunk onto Raze, and that just may be the Baron start. No, actually, they Rift Herald mid lane.
Do they just use it as a distraction, though? Chiefs are going to have to bring multiple members over here to push. They have a very nice siege composition. The Caitlyn traps can line up on one side. You have Swiffer with the Anivia wall on the other. They can just completely zone you away from the turret. So this inner will go down, but do they continue? Still 10 seconds on Destiny, or do they back off to the Baron?
And Destiny really is the sole engage.
big
They flash
wall.
forward, they look for the wall. No flashes there for Ryoma. He will get stunned up, and he will get taken down, and they're just going to look to continue this play. They've even teleported Tally in, and he can just call in the Ram whenever he would like. However, damage is starting to register onto Rogue. He needs to be a little bit more careful, and the Bip is threatening the kick, so the disengage is now on for... No, actually, it's not. Cancel that. That's going to be a big knock up onto Swift.
Combo.
He can't go Mega. He will get taken down, and Raze gets tagged. Has to flash. You can see FBI flashing forward. Double kill for FBI. The Caitlyn is massive, and now Order can potentially look to continue into the base.
And the game completely swings. They break open the base. One pick onto Ryoma means the inhib's down. They're looking for the end.
Yeah, they certainly are. Flash. Ignite. Smite is used. However, again, they find Destiny.
No ulti.
He goes in. No ulti available. However, now they look for him. He dashes in. Flash out of Tally. Will get the stun.
Ryoma.
However, now Ryoma is looking to continue to clean up. That's a triple kill. He will fall down. Babip as well will join him in the death chamber. However, you feel that's enough. 9 seconds left on the respawn. Order need to get the heck out of Dodge.
Tally, big grin on his face there. Order potentially overcommitting onto the Nexus. They get a bunch of other kills, but 10 seconds after that last kill on Raze and Swiper means they do just back away. You're not really going to do much Nexus damage
As an Anivia.
with an Anivia and an Ornn. So they back away, looking to take away another blue buff.
Big Swift needs to make sure he doesn't face check here. He has no flash available.
And that's
Actually,
the thing.
look at this.
0 flashes on any of the members of
Hex
Team.
flash.
It's like half a flash. They got 0.5 flashes, but the flash timer on Ryoma with that first play from Swiffer, when they were sieging the inhib, we said, Rift Herald, they can go again. They had the capabilities. It was a sliver. Less than 10 seconds on coming up, but because they had that timer, Swiffer commits his, walls him out of the base, and he's level 15, he's got many points in that W right now, so it's just so wide, you just completely lock the Rise out. And that was the play that broke open the game.
An Infernal Drake. Talk about the League of Legends god smiling on a team. Behind the whole series, it feels like. You know, oceans and mountains.
I mean, Mountain was
they
pretty
get
good
ahead
for
once,
Chiefs.
and then all of a sudden the Chiefs are staring down. A 3.5 item Anivia with an Infernal Drake.
It's going to be rough. The Baron obviously wasn't even taken, wasn't needed to break the base there. Just pick after pick. And honestly, the engage looked decent by the Chiefs at the inhib. It was desperation because it was a 4v5. Yeah. Destiny gets like a 4-man combo, but Bip kicks Spooks back into his team, but it's just too little too late. They only had 1 damage threat.
The problem was that Big Swift didn't go Mega.
Yeah.
If he had to go on Mega, he would have lasted just a little bit longer. However, Rogue again,
solo
warding. They go in. That's going to be a call on the Forge God, and Destiny just gets blown up. He is no longer in this hemisphere. Raze will join him in the death chamber. Goodbye, Babip. That is 3 kills for Order. And now they can just look to close out this game.
And we said again, had Rogue been caught, but Raze commits without flash over the wall. He falls down. This choke is honestly good for the Rise. He can do significant damage, but Order might just look for the throat. They're going straight down mid.
Shepherd in 1 super creep. They have Swiffer's wall. They've got the trap line. They can set up 1 super creep, maybe all that it takes.
No. The minion tanks. Ryoma's going to be looking to clear out that creep, but can he get in range? The Braum Q lands.
That might be enough. Forces him away. You can see the super creep is still up and alive. They land the stun. They all flash forward. And Ryoma just did not have a fun game of League of Legends. However, Raze is back up in 4 seconds. Maybe they've stayed too long. They need to focus out the inhibitor. Big Swift gets a 5-man, 4-man combo out of Destiny. And now a 3-man kick to join it. And this might be the start of the comeback. You can see they're looking to re-engage. Raze will have to play out, gets walled off, will get stunned up, will fall down. Swift dives in, tries to save his comrade, but Order now on the Nexus. And you can see Babip is just trying to get onto Swiffer. Will get the egg out. However, this is just Babip falling down very low. This is a second ulti out of Tally we've seen. Bangs it into the Nexus, and this will be Order in quicker time in 26 minutes, taking game number 2.
The last week of regular split play. And Order finally proved to the fans that they can go down in a series and potentially they can claw it back. They
did it against
equalize.
Direwolves in week number 4, mate. Sorry. They didn't win it, but they did win game 2 after being down. Maybe they can this time.
Okay. Rogue's pretty happy with that one, but that was an MVP performance from Swiffer. The Anivia, you asked me halfway through the game.
What was he even saying then?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Who cares? But can you deal with the Anivia?
Yep.
I think that is a 100% ban. All right. Whether they can do it with another champion is like it's a question of, wow, have they prepared this strategy and not just have they prepared this pick? How many hours invested? Obviously, I have no clue. In scrims.
How would I have any idea?
Do you have any idea?
How would I have any idea?
how many hours has Choo Choo's invested in his team to that sort of style with the Anivia? I feel like Chiefs 100% going to ban that one away. I feel like going onto the same side as game one, Order probably going to match the Zyra Khan ban. They're going to ban away that. So they're going to kind of match these one-to-one strategies, and it'll be interesting going into game 3.
And I think that the big thing for me here was the fact that this was the first game I've actually seen Order take the foot off the gas and just say, it's fine.
Yep.
Like, we fell down 2 kills in the top lane, and there wasn't desperation creeping into their play.
And that's the thing, because they've played controlled games. They've played Janna Caitlyn very early in the split. They have played these fight-heavy comps. They have played the Janna Caitlyn comp, but that comp still relies on applying constant pressure. You're kind of playing PvE. You just want to play against the turrets. You don't want to fight, but this was a game where they actually intentionally stagnated. And that's good signs, I guess. The versatility, Direwolves have been a team that have been so dominant, and they have shown that versatility, but now Order kind of matching.
And the Chiefs are the kings of 2-0s. Chiefs 2-0 a lot of good teams, and they've been on a run lately. Now, the thing that I'm interested for is the young members, Ryoma, Babip. They got shut out of that game. How do they bounce back going into a game 3? They've just lost the top spot. It's going to be incredibly interesting. However, to break that game down further, let's throw it over to Laura and Tegan.
Thank you very much, guys. We're going to game number 3 in this series, and with that loss from the Chiefs, it now means that Direwolves are locked in for #1 spot in the gauntlet. But Tegan, it seems like you take the pressure off Order, and then they can suddenly perform.
Yeah, I don't know if that was it. It might have had something to do with the Anivia, might have had something to do with no pressure, but there was definitely night and day performance from them.
Well, we saw 2 new champions that we haven't seen in the OPL yet. Lee Sin, who hasn't been played in any of the top 5 regions in 8.5 yet. What did you think of this pick, and do you think we're going to see it going into game number 3?
I hate to kick a person when they're down, but even though he had a good score, I was not impressed with Babip. There were plenty of times where it looked like he wasn't super comfortable with what he was meant to do in fights. He was hesitating on using his kick. He wasn't really sure of his damage output, and it just didn't look as good as he did in the first game. That being said, I think it's a fine champion. We saw the benefits of it. We saw the really good damage output early on. We saw him able to bully Olaf out of his jungle. I'm not sure if it was, him not being good at the champion or just unfamiliarity with the champions he was playing against.
The other champion we did see, of course, was Anivia in the mid lane. Swiffer repping the frozen bird on the side of Order. He went 6-0-6. Going to be banned in game number 3?
I'd assume so. It's not a champion you get practice against. No one plays it in scrims, except maybe Order, I guess. No one plays in solo queue. It's a hard champion to plan for. It's a painful champion to play against. It's oppressive when it's ahead, as we just saw. And I think just for peace of mind, you ban it out. If it was a best of 5, like we touched on earlier, maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you'd pick a champion against it and see how you fare. But if I see it in game 3, I'm be really surprised.
We've been talking about the bot lane throughout this series, and I want to touch on it again because in this game, they went polar opposites to last game. And I think that there could be a potential for an Ezreal curse in this series. Because last game, FBI played Ezreal, he lost. This game, Raze played Ezreal, he lost. I mean, what's going on?
I've never been a fan of Ezreal, so I'm a bit biased. But Ezreal, it seems like you pick it when you just want to survive lane. You want to do it safely. You want to do it with a decent amount of farm, sit back and get into mid-game. And when you put professed aggressive players on Ezreal, you see them make aggressive plays where maybe they shouldn't be making them. Case in point, Raze in top lane, eating over the wall to try and finish off a kill started by Barbip, and then having to flash back over it. So that might be the champion, that might be the player, might be a mix of the two, but in general, just I don't want to see Ezreal game 3 because it doesn't seem to suit either of the players.
You were saying before that you never change your prediction, but unfortunately your prediction is now wrong. So I'm blessing you with this opportunity to now make a new prediction. Who's going to take game number 3, Order or Chiefs?
Chiefs. I'm still going with Chiefs, and I'm still picking 2-0. I will happily lose. I've already lost. You've still got your prediction riding on the line, so good on you. But I've lost. I'm not going to change.
I have
got to deal with it.
for you. All right, well, before we do get to game number 3, we have someone who sent in a question for you to answer right now, and that comes from Alexander, who says, "Hey, T-Gun, how would you go about carrying your ADC if they're not that great?" Cheers.
Pick a support that can leave the lane early, like Blitzcrank maybe. All right, just throwing it out there. That's how I do it. It's tough because in solo queue, generally don't know how your ADC is going to play. So if you pick something like Janna, Soraka, something passive, you do just have to deal with it, get them through the lane as best you can, and hope that they snap out of it. But if you pick something that has roaming capabilities, Blitz, Crank, Thresh, Bard, and you see your ADC struggling, you can tell them, hey, just play safe, sit under the tower. I'm going to go mid, I'm going to go top and try and win the game that way. Because in solo queue, top laners aren't thinking, hey, the support's going to rock up. They're not thinking that. So that's the way I'd suggest. But again, it comes down to champion choice as well. If you're, you know, a passive champion, you just got to get them through it, be very positive, and hope that they snap out of it.
I like the positivity coming through. Congratulations on your mystery skin, Alexander. We're going to head to a break, but when we get back, we're going to have game number 3, the final game of this series between Order and the Chiefs. Don't miss it.
This time he lands the axe, he uses the ultimate, and he goes forward. Babip is looking for Swiffer at the same time. They're going to let Ryoma walk away. No, they use the Caitlyn ulti, and you can see Swiffer is just shepherding the Lee Sin. That's going to be a big knock up onto Swift. Combo. He can't go mega, he will get taken down, and Raze gets tagged, has to flash. You can see FBI flashing forward. Double kill for FBI. The Caitlyn is massive. They find Destiny. No ulti. He goes in, no ulti available. However, now they look for him. He dashes in. Flash out of Tally will get this done. However, now Ryoma is looking to continue to clean up. That's a triple kill. They go in. That's going to be a call on the forward god. And Destiny just gets blown up. He is no longer in this hemisphere. Raze will join him in the death chamber. Goodbye, Babip. That is 3 kills for Order. Raze will have to play out. Gets walled off. Will get stunned up. Will fall down. Swift dives in, tries to save his comrade, but Order now on the Nexus. This is the second ulti out of Tally we've seen. Banks it into the Nexus, and this will be Order in quicker time, in 26 minutes, taking game number 2.